Hello everyone, Tequila Pete here. Hey, I just wanted to release this video and kind of go through a couple of things. Number one, I want it to be educational so that you can see how we do what we do from a research standpoint to share transactions and utilize immutable technologies that say you are this, you did this, and there is no question about it. I mean, at the end of the day, once again, it's immutable and you can't change it. So, this is also, like I mentioned, a rebuttal to this memo that came out from Navras. One of the things I gather from here is caustic narratives and malicious accusations. We'll get into that because these accusations aren't malicious at all, and I will prove that they are accurate. They also talk about addressing NavrasTech accusations. All transactions since inception NavrasTech have been accounted for. That is incorrect. And I will prove that because I was there from day one. I'd like to see their fiscal year quarterly one report. I want to state that I left on December the 5th, and I left because of many reasons. Number one, I didn't believe that certain individuals who were not working should be getting payroll. I wanted them removed and brought back if needed and as needed. I believe that you should be compensated for the amount of work you do. That was always my position, and that was always a narrative. And those who do not work should not get paid. Number one, we're starting up a token. Number two, you should be compensated as you perform tasks. You can't sit on the sidelines and get paid. That's not fair to the investor. And so this is where the problem started. I do agree on a couple of things. When I was there, I have always kept a ledger of every transaction. I will say these people do not know how to read Etherscan or traverse Etherscan, so it was always me, and I do this for everything. I do this from an educational standpoint. I also do this because when I came in, I did mention that I would utilize the same business style protocols. For example, it was my idea to come up with KPIs, key performance indicators. It was my idea to come up with QBRs, quarterly business reviews. And also it was my idea to follow the strict common implementation methodologies utilized in project management, such as Agile, for example. So I kept tabs on everybody. I kept tabs on everything. This is when we started. This was the token distribution. We had everything accounted for in terms of how and what wallets it was going to be coming out of. We had everything accounted for. In the position we put ourselves in, we will not make any official transactions until we have our LLC registered so that we can identify these and adhere to taxation regulations that exist. In addition to that, any one-offs that came about that we used, for example, website hosting or whatever it may be, they would to be reimbursed as part of our monthly payroll, and only through that. The idea was to create ENS wallets that were clean. We wanted a hygienic ecosystem that was not compromised by having transactions, rogue transactions going into personal wallets. Any Coinbase, the idea once again was to keep this as clean and as uniform as possible so that when we did go out for grants, we did go out for venture capitalists, we would be able to say, here are our books, they're clean as a whistle, and there is no emulation of what you see in these rogue tokens or these rugs where the wallets are all compromised, there's garbage in there, they're purchasing other tokens, etc. Initially, when we started, I thought it was an excellent idea to bring in a third party and conduct a full assessment on everything we were doing, on all our books, all our expenditures. And if you can see here, on November the 17th, I did engage a researcher that is very neutral for those who know him and very transparent to look over everything and give us the seal of approval. I have always kept wallet addresses. I kept payroll addresses for those wallets. As you can see here, I have every FTE, every employee or every dev or whatever you want to call them that participated as part of Navras. I have their staff pay wallets, which were documented. It was a must to provide your staff wallets to ensure transparency. I took it beyond, and then I followed up with their wallets, and then I registered their Coinbase wallets and whatever they were doing. As you can see here, this smart guy right here, number 4, was using fixed float Houdini swap. That's an awesome platform. I like it. I use it. And yes, this is me. You can't follow what I've done. But anyway, the others, they did something. There's a certain individual who all he does is buys tokens. I have been keeping an eye on the ones that say buy tokens because I specifically told them, hey, these people, you told me that they were undergoing hardship. However, they're turning around and buying tokens. I don't want them to get paid. They're not doing anything. Some people say, well, they worked very hard for the contract. Bullshit. The contract was already pre-written. Somebody else, another company, I'm not going to bring them up, wrote the contract. It's just a matter of filling in values. So my recommendation, so this was the first shot. At this point, nobody has done anything. It's 11/11. It's after our pink sale and everybody's getting paid. I had a conversation at this point and I told Luis, I don't agree with the payment structure. I didn't tell him once. I must have told him a dozen times. I don't agree with it. They should not get paid. We're early on. They should get paid and compensated utilizing some other methodology and some other incentive, such as documenting what you do. I was ignored. They did what they did and they paid these individuals. I wasn't happy at all because once again, there were only a few who were working their asses off, and that includes me. So with that, once again, I had everybody's wallet. I have every transaction of every payroll effort that came out, right? I'm not making it up. I'm not pulling these out of my ass. These are there. What I do want to let you guys know is a couple of things. 11/11 is the date we got our first pay. 12/2 is a very important date. That's the day we got our second pay. Once again, the same problems, the same issues. On 12/2, I came and said, these people should not get paid. They have not done a thing. There were 3 of them. They belong to the COO, Cody. They were not doing a thing and should not get paid. I also said they should be removed until further notice. We don't have a need for them right now. We're working on other efforts. Cody got mad, hung up the phone on us, and that's kind of where it started. Now, I've had issues with people getting paid who do not deserve to get paid. I am a director for a large organization, and we basically pay people when they perform. The other thing I was told is I'm too mean. Well, you know what? I am mean, but being mean, being assertive, is very different. When you run a company, you run a business, it's about getting things done, right? You remove the sentiment. These people were a group of people, they liked each other, but I'm sorry, I'm here to run a business, and if that's not going to happen, they need to be removed. If they're not delivering, they need to be removed and replaced. But anyway, so here are the transactions. Once again, keep in mind, 11/11 is the first payroll, 12/2 is the second payroll, and then I left on 12/5, so keep that in mind. I recently shared questions that I brought up before I left to Luis many times and said, hey, something is going on. I've told him before, get rid of Cody, but he won't. I don't know why. Maybe they got some history. I have no idea. Get rid of the devs. Something's not right. I did the same for the other individual, Lillian. I mean, remember, these people hired me to go through the V1, V2, where I identified The culprit who was taking the funds, they took a lot of liquidity and about 90 ETH worth. And so I'm trusted then, but I'm not trusted now. I don't know. That's puzzling for me for sure. But anyway, here are the transactions that I went through and I shared. This is all verifiable on Etherscan. This is part one of a series that I'm going to be releasing called Anatomy of a Scammer, and I want you guys to see this firsthand and tell me what you think, because once again, these transaction hashes, these dates, they're immutable. I can't go in there and change them. I can't fabricate them. I can't make them up. But I want you to focus here. This wallet, 23B21. This wallet, DFF45. And then we have some rogue secret wallets here. I just want you to keep an eye on those, because we'll get to those. In this particular series, in this part one, we're going to focus on this individual right here. This is his NavrasTech payroll wallet that sends to Coinbase to this address, this 3ED5 right here. So what you're going to remember is F45S. F45S. That is the wallet we're going to follow. It's a Coinbase wallet, and the wallet that sends to it is this 3B21. 3B21. So keep those in mind. Once again, these were recorded early on, 11/11. I mean, the first payroll that went out, that was when I wanted Navras to be something successful. Once again, here we go. Here is 3B21. And the one we're focusing on today is DFF45, which receives and has received from Thanos in the tune of 3,196. This is a Lillian meme token that was created to generate funds. We'll also talk about all of these other wallets here that are ecosystem wallets that should not have been touched and sent directly to this individual. But primarily we're going to focus on this transaction on 11/26 here that did not happen during payroll. Remember, payroll was on the 11th of November and on the 2nd of December. But this individual, for some reason or another, received from the Navras Ops Dev wallet 1,680. That is a compromise to the ecosystem, and that basically sends the ecosystem into a non-hygienic effort where now we're starting to send all of this crap junk from these ecosystem wallets to personal wallets, and that's what I tried to prevent. Within this effort down here, he took almost $3,000, this individual. Up here is you know, we'll get to those as well on a different series, but here you can see some of the Genosis multi-sig going directly to this wallet. You see some secret wallets that were intermediary and got paid by Genosis and then send to what I call a secret wallet. They tried to create their own man-made tornado cash, but they suck at it. I also want to point out Navras and this breadcrumbs capture that I have. Once again, the polluted ecosystem for Navras. Now we have tech.eth, dev.eth, qa.eth, ops.eth, and then the Genosis, the proxy multi-wallet, multi-safe wallet right here. They all sent to that wallet right here, that Cody payroll wallet. That's that 3B21. And they go to Coinbase through this and reside at this. Once again, remember, this is what we're looking at for F4, 56. So once again, the ecosystem has been compromised. I ran into these wallets right here that say under investigation because I've discovered I'd rather not say it right now, but I'm putting it together. And then this one right here, the multi-sig, that at this time, or I haven't checked lately, but at this time when I took this, there is no multi-sig. What's the purpose of having multi-sig when there's only one signature required? I've told Luis many times, set this up, set this up, set this up. It did not happen. So let's get into this. Once again, here is that DF F45 wallet. It's missing the 6 at the end, but that doesn't matter because we're going to look at these in Etherscan in real time. Here's the transaction that we're after. This one from the NavrasOps wallet on 11/26 outside of payroll in the tune of 1,680. Going to this hot wallet right here, this Coinbase wallet number 2. And then 6 minutes later, as you can see, there was a purchase, a bunch of purchases here. Q-Star token was purchased, and they doubled that. You would think he deposited back if it was for Navras. I never knew that we were, even at our early state, allowed to buy tokens and gamble investors' money. Here they go in there and they buy on the 28th. He sold on the 28th. But anyway, here's what I want you to see because we're going to look at it in real time. Okay, wallet. As we look at this D45 wallet, or I'm sorry, this F5 wallet, we can kind of see what we're up against here, right? As this intermediary wallet that sends to Coinbase directly. We have the payroll wallets here. Now we're talking about this deployer, which once again I said don't send directly to Coinbase stuff, is out here. Here it is again. Here it is again. Here's NavrasOps sending. Well, guess what? This is the one from 11/26 that we talked about that transferred directly to this Coinbase wallet. So as you can see here, today's value 1,971 from NavrasOps. Let's click on here, confirm. Oh, yep, NavrasOps right here. It's an ecosystem wallet, as you can see here. But look here, it's all beautiful except when you go to Navras Cody Payroll on 12/16. After I left, Navras Cody Coinbase 11/26 that I brought up to Luis's attention and never went anywhere. So here we are again. It sends to this Coinbase wallet, which is where we're at now. So we have all this business, right? Guess what else sends here? Navras Cody Coinbase number 2 here. You see this wallet from 11/29? Sends to this wallet. Well, what does it send and why is it sending? Well, it sent in today's value $679. But let's interrogate that wallet because if you remember here, this happened on 11/26 at 2:58. Make sure you understand that's UTC time. And then if we go to this Coinbase wallet number 2, this is very funny because after he said, no, that's not true, on 1/7 a few days ago, NavrasTech deployer actually sent to this secondary Coinbase wallet. Talk about your ecosystem being compromised. This is ridiculous. This just happened, man, a few days ago, even after I brought it up. But here is the transfer that I sent for Cody. to his wallet number one of $600. Here it is. But let's go to 1126. Oh, look, here's 1126. All right, so we see some approvals for the token QStar Munger on 1126. What really happened here? Let's go here. Okay, 1126. Look at that. We said it was 258. Here we got 305 a couple of minutes later. The guy decides to buy. The guy makes some money, sells. And then once he's done and loses what he gambled on the 29th, what does he do? He transfers it back to his Navras Cody number one. Here we go. I just talked about that. And then ultimately, you know, this is his Coinbase wallet. Ultimately, he does what he needs to do. But let's look at this again. 1126, Navras Ops to Coinbase. Wallet number one. This is wallet number two. Here's a transaction. Here's where he buys. It's funny because what he took, if you start doing the math, it all rolls down minus the gas fees. So it's definitely related. There's no ifs and buts. And there's a lot of movement between wallets back and forth. But here are the tokens that were purchased. And then once again, once he, the 4-day volume was 11,306. I mean, in the end, he made money. He made money, and it wasn't deposited back to Navras. And this is utilizing ETH that belongs to the Navras investors. Let's go back to 12.7 here. I know I brought this up. Those rogue wallets here, I'll show them to you again. These two rogue wallets here that I call secret wallets, where I say he's trying to create a poor man's tornado cash. Let's take a look at them. So this is once again Cody's Coinbase wallet. It's not even his payroll. It's like directly sending to your Coinbase. Who in their right mind does that and expects to get a grant? Let's look at this first one right here. Let's backtrack it. Here it is. It sends on the 7th. Here's the transaction hash. Shouldn't be anything there. Here comes from here. This wallet. Let's look at this internal transaction. Oh, NavrasTech Genosis. This is your multi-safe. Let's see what's happening here. Oh, look at that. Cody. Navras Cody payroll. This is the wallet he uses for multi-sig. They're basically, that's what this is. That's what this method ID is. But this is the one, some of these are the ones I am talking about. Let's go back to that Coinbase wallet and let's look at this other wallet or transaction wallet combination. Let's see what is happening here. Oh, look at that. NavrasTech.eth. NavrasDev.eth. Look at that. On 12/7, 2 days after I left. Oh, it's going to Cody's wallet. Look at this wannabe tornado cash. Let me throw a wallet in there that nobody knows, and then I'll send it to my Coinbase. Luckily, there is something called breadcrumbs. We catch everything. We see everything. This is a beautiful product. Breadcrumbs. Utilize it. It helps you, and it shows you what else is related. So, call it what you will. Call it what it is. There is no reason to make things up. The blockchain doesn't lie. I just proved to you who these two wallets belong to. There's two-way transactions. They are immutable. These accusations here saying that malicious accusations, I challenge you. I challenge you to an AMA. So this is one of one. Let's talk about it. Let's figure this out. I mean, the blockchain doesn't lie. For them to say these are malicious, you guys do your own research. I'm gonna talk about in my next video the OPS wallets, right? Where I'm gonna prove that these guys took in the tune of $70,000 of OPS. They created this. I'm sorry, it's not OPS, it's OTS, over the counter. They created this solution and basically moved a bunch of Lillian over, and the same individual here, Luis, and a few others paid themselves. There was one investor who invested a legitimate amount. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it was 8K, 6K. But in the end, instead of these guys saying, hey, I think we screwed up, giving it back, they all decided to pay themselves a lucrative 70 something plus $1,000. And I'll talk to that in my next series. Thank you all, and I apologize for the getting tongue-tied and all that good stuff.